This is another episode of When Rich Men Cry.
I care. That's it.
Bernie Marcus, the Trump-supporting billionaire co-founder of Home Depot, is worried about capitalism and blaming socialism for the, quote, lazy, fat, and stupid workforce. I'm Yasmin Khan with the breakdown, and honestly, I thought that we had moved on from the no one wants to work narrative. I thought that it had been sufficiently played out. I thought that it had been debunked, and yet here we are. Of course, we are talking about a billionaire here, and almost by definition, the billionaire demographic is out of touch with pretty much everyone outside of their very small circle of other billionaires. What do billionaires know about the working class? Maybe they were once a part of the working class and maybe they employ them, but that's kind of the extent of the relationship. And even that employment happens via proxy. Bernie Marcus isn't interviewing candidates to work in the stockroom, nor is he stepping onto the sales floor to really get a feel for the business, its workers, or its clientele. So according to an article in Financial Times, Marcus did an interview from his Florida home late last year, which was just last week, where he said he was, quote, worried about capitalism, and that because of socialism, which by the way has not been adopted on any kind of large societal scale in this country, quote, nobody works, nobody gives a damn, just give it to me, send me money, I don't want to work, I'm too lazy, I'm too fat, I'm too stupid. Yeah, that's a quote. Marcus, you might recall, has been an avid and vocal supporter of Donald Trump's political career, support that on occasion has fueled calls to boycott Home Depot. To that, Marcus says, quote, we used to have free speech here, we don't have it. Well, we do have free speech because Marcus hasn't been arrested for voicing support for Donald Trump. I don't know why people don't understand that choosing not to give someone money because of what that person will then do with their money, in this case, people choosing to maybe shop at Lowe's instead of Home Depot because Home Depot's billionaire co-founder will likely funnel their money into Donald Trump's presidential campaign, is literal capitalism. It's not woke socialism, it's not cancel culture, it's capitalism. It's commercial competition giving consumers options on where they want to spend their money. Capitalism. So no, Bernie Marcus probably doesn't need to worry about capitalism. I think we're probably stuck with it a bit longer. His simplistic and frankly idiotic assessment of the working class should be all the indication that we need that he isn't a man we should be looking to or listening to for financial, economic, societal, or ideological insight. He's stuck in a past that no longer exists, and rather than celebrating the achievements and advancements that we've made as a nation since then and assessing the landscape as it currently is, he's mad that people don't like him. And yes, the temptation to boycott large corporations based on political donations is very attractive, but is it practical? In this particular case, people can shop for their home improvement needs elsewhere. I do a lot of home improvement stuff around the house. I get bored and I get crafty sometimes. So yeah, there are times when I find myself at a Home Depot. And these stories are always a little difficult to stomach because I know that however indirectly, I helped make this man a billionaire. And I helped give him a platform so that he could now say horrible things disparaging millions of Americans. Not only that, but I know that my money, however indirectly, helped fund the political career of a man that I would otherwise never choose to support. That said, am I the problem? I will take part of that responsibility, yes, and I believe in a good boycott, but the reality is that boycotts on the scale that would be necessary to make a meaningful dent in a multi-billion-dollar corporation's bottom line are unsustainable over long periods of time and extremely difficult to organize and execute. That said, I think a lot of us here really feel the weight of our consumer choices and carry that weight with us. It's an ugly, guilty weight, and it's exhausting trying to constantly do your due diligence as far as where your dollar is being spent and what it's ultimately contributing to and funding. I don't think it's fair that we bear that burden so personally when the problems are actually much bigger than us, when campaign finance laws are so easily bypassed and obstructed, when corporate tax breaks empower businesses over people, when democratic institutions are threatened with impotency, and those who can and should respond to those threats most directly don't. But back to Home Depot, the current leadership has made efforts to distance themselves from Bernie Marcus and his statements, and the corporation still employs about 500,000 workers in North America. While Lowe's seems like a more attractive alternative to Home Depot, I'm sure if you looked hard enough, you would find things there that you don't like too. At the end of the day, all corporations are agents of capitalism. Shopping local or supporting small businesses is generally preferred, but doing so isn't always an option for people depending on location and access, and it can be cost prohibitive. So, we do our best and we live our lives while trying to make the world a better place, and sometimes that's enough. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this content, please like and subscribe, and be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks.